Welcome, friends. I'm so happy you're here for another episode of the Agatha Creates Knitting channel. There's a bunch of you who are new here, so thank you so much for still being here. Today is April 30th. It's been a little under a week since I posted my last video, and I just need to address it. I I appreciate so much the super warm, just sentiment that I've gotten from that video. I've only gotten a little over 70 views on that video, but out of it, I've gotten like 20 new subscribers, which is almost 30% of everyone who's watched that video has subscribed. That is freaking nuts. From that video, I've made new friends, which is so exciting. So I want to send a huge shout out to Amy and Andrea and Amber, who have welcomed me with open arms into their knitter podcaster group of friends, and I appreciate it so much. And I had already watched one of Andrea's videos before. She was literally the inspiration for me to do hexies out of the red hard granny square all in one yarn. Um, so that's pretty nuts. And now we're friends, so that's super sweet. I'm so happy. I'm gonna link their YouTube channels down below, so if you want to go check them out. I've been watching their videos because I knew about Andrea, but I didn't know about Amber or Amy. And it just comes to show that there's a lot of knitting and crochet and crafty YouTube channels out there, but the algorithm is only gonna push to you the 10 or 15 channels that are most popular. So, if you're looking for new channels to watch and follow, I would highly recommend them. They'll be linked down below. Thank you so much, you guys, again, for just being so kind and being so generous and being so welcoming. All right, so on to today's video. I am not good at gift knitting. I personally only want to make things for myself, basically. You might call that being selfish, but honestly, I just don't have enough time to make all of the things that I would like to make, so I focus on things that I want to make for myself or for my husband. Um, but after I've, become friends with Amy, Andrea, and Amber, I was catching up on their videos, and Andrea, in her most recent video, she was talking about knitted, or maybe she crocheted them, plushy chickens. And if you've been living under a rock, basically, the emotional support chicken has been all the rave among knitters and crocheters for the past couple months, maybe. But I haven't been inclined to make one. They're cute, but not for me, I guess. But the ones that Andrea made are so freaking cute. There was just something about them that made me want to make chickens. I want to make them, but I don't want to have chickens. Which led me down this thought process of who can I make chickens for? And of course, Mother's Day is coming up. And my mother-in-law loves chickens. She doesn't have any chickens, like live chickens, but her entire kitchen is kind of chicken, rooster, farm kind of vibes. So I want to make one for her. And if I'm gonna make her a gift, I need to make my mom a gift. And if I'm gonna make my mother-in-law a gift, I need to make her sister a gift. So my husband's aunt is basically a second mother to them. Every Mother's Day, we give her a gift as well, because she would watch over him and his sister a lot when they were growing up. So, they're very close, and we always get her something, like I said, on Mother's Day. So, I have some plans, and we're gonna try to make it all within a week, basically. So, when this video comes out, we will be a few days away from Mother's Day. So, hopefully, what I'm planning to do with this video is that if you get the craving to make something for someone, hopefully, you can make it within an afternoon or something, and you can make it on time. So, let's get into it. Oh my god, there's ants everywhere! I freaking hate ants. Ugh, that's disgusting. I don't even have food in here. Why are they here? Alright, so here are the gifts that I've decided to make. For my mother in law, I think I've already mentioned it. I'm gonna make her a chicken. She loves chickens. I have a lot of Karen 1 pound yarn. I'm gonna show it to you in a second. And it's very convenient. I think I've got all the colors that I would need to make a chicken. For my husband's aunt, she has a lot of cats, and his mom has a lot of cats too. They love cats. They're cat ladies. I was thinking that in 2020, I made my cats a cat bed, and they love that thing. They use it every day to this day. So for her, I'm gonna make her a cat bed. I might even make her two, depending on how long it takes me to make them. Definitely one or two cat beds is not enough for all the cats she got, but I think she'll still appreciate it, basically. Then for my mom, I am still debating a little bit on if I want to make her crocheted flowers for sure, but I still haven't quite decided yet if I want it to be the type of flowers that are wrapped in wire, that you can put in like a flower vase, or I've seen in the past where you make these coasters, I guess, and you put like flowery things all around, and then when you put them all together, they look like a potted plant. So for the chicken, I think that the pattern that I want to follow is called the Mabel Chicken by Jocelyn Elizabeth, in Ravelry. The thing is that the pattern is written to be using um, chenille yarn, and I don't have a chenille yarn that I would like to use for a chicken. So I'm gonna give it a try with the Karen 1 pound yarn that I have and Big Twist Value yarn. So for the cat bed, I'm thinking that I'm gonna use this Karen 1 pound yarn that's at the bottom with this velvet, Bernat baby velvet that's at the top. I think they look really good together. They're very similar kind of shades of pink. And also, fun fact, it is my understanding that cat hair does not stick to velvet. So that's why I think that this velvet yarn will work really well for a cat bed. And then for my mom's flowers, I have all of the yarn in this bag. It is a mess, so I'm not gonna try to take them all out. I'm only gonna show you a few of them. They kind of look like this. I think I have 10 different colors. I don't use it more often because it comes in small 25-gram balls. And it's mostly for small projects and amigurumi, and I'm not a big amigurumi person. But this is the tag. I bought these on Amazon. It is such a good yarn. I love, love, love this yarn. We have an old forgotten whip in here. I forgot that this existed. I've got a couple different shades of pink, purple, teal, blue, green, and reds. And it's gonna go into my mom's flowers. I'm gonna be creating project pages for all of these. They're all gonna be in my Ravelry account. I will be linking them down below. So if you're interested in any of these yarns and you want to find out what shades they are and all that good stuff, then you can just go to the project pages and I'll have all of the information there. So, considering that I haven't 100% decided on my mom's flowers pattern, and I'm a little nervous still about which chicken pattern I will actually follow, then let's just get started with the cat bed. Um, the original pattern that I followed to make my cat's bed is no longer available, but in any case, it's just a circle and I made a ton of modifications to it, and I wrote them all down in my original pattern page. So let's get on with it. Alright, guys, we are checking in. It's the next day. There are no ants, they have been eradicated. Um, Today has been a very interesting day because the power went out at like almost 10 in the morning and it didn't come back until 1:30 in the afternoon. So I had a proper good excuse to not be working and to be crocheting instead. So I got a lot of crocheting done today when I wouldn't have otherwise. The cat bed is going really well. This is the first side. That's what I'm gonna call it because it's like coin. You got two faces of the coin. So this is the part where the cats can actually lay on because it's the velvet yarn. And then I have the other side of the cat bed. I'm not gonna check what that is about. I have logged off, sir. Um, so I have, yeah, this is the front. This is the other side. I think they're gonna be really cute together. My cat completely took ownership of the first circle that I made. It is now her sleeping mat. So I did it again. This took me 3 hours. This is supposed to be a quick gift. I'm not going to spend 3 hours again doing the other side. So I'm doing this holding 3 strands of yarn. together. So I'm holding yarn triple. And this whole thing has taken me an hour. So it checks out. It's 3 times as much yarn, so it's taking me 3 times as little time. You know what I'm trying to say? So let's get this all wrapped up, and we should be able to start with the crochet chicken later today when we're done with this. Because I still need to figure out what am I gonna use exactly to fill it up. I mean, it's for cats, so maybe I could use like an old pillow that we're not using to fill it up. Um, but I kind of want to get my husband's opinion on that before I go ripping up one of our pillows. Granted, a pillow that we don't use, but you know, gotta make sure that he's okay with it too. So let's see how far I can get. All right, the 2 sides of the cat bed are done. This is the wrong side, and this is also the wrong side. So, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put one inside of the other, wrong sides facing each other. This is a lot of extra that I've taken out just so that I can weave in. I'm just not ready to weave these together just yet, or sew them together. That's a better way of describing it. So let's put, are these wrong side? Yeah, that's the wrong side. And then this is the wrong side. So hopefully, if you did not understand before the vision of the cat bed, hopefully you can now. Let's get this out of the way. Okay. So hopefully this makes more sense now. What I'm gonna do is I'm going to sew these right here. So I have a row here and a row here that I'm going to sew together. Halfway, I'm gonna be filling it with filling. Once the base is done, then I'm gonna start sewing these 2 sides together, putting in more filling. So it's gonna be plushy here, and it's gonna be plushy here as well, kind of like that. It's gonna be so nice. It looks so freaking cute. All right, so since the cat bed is done for now, I still gotta fill it in, but we're not gonna do that yet. I can finally move on to try to make the chicken, so let's do that next. Hi friends, it's been a few days. Today's Friday night, and I'm having a blast because I'm crocheting. I just realized that I didn't tell you guys anything about the flower. patterns that I decided to use. I spent a lot of time trying to pick the perfect flower patterns. And originally, I was thinking that I would be able to make my mom almost like a bouquet of flowers. So I picked three different flower patterns. The first one is a tulip flower by Marina Kalova. I'm sorry, I did a terrible job. I love this flower, and I based my decision making on what other flowers I would pick based on this one because it's not super. It's detailed enough while still being almost like a plushie. Then I decided that I was gonna make the Sunflower by Sky Magenta. Then I found the Daffodils by June Gilbank. I think they're very cute as well. All right, so having said that, where we are now, I have made the cat bed up until the stuffing point. I've made the chicken up until the stuffing point. I made a little chicken egg, which I really hope my brother in law does not interpret as a message of I'm pregnant because I'm not. And I need to make that very clear to her. But I just thought that making a little egg, maybe stuffed with like beans or something to give the chicken some weight would be really cute. So I made the chicken egg up until the stuffing point. And now I have the tulip petals and the tulip core. These do not get stuffed. This one does get stuffed, and it's at the stuffing point. So that means we need to do some stuffing. I have some old pillows at the edge of the frame. You don't need to see them. They're old. They're disgusting. You know what an old pillow looks like, so no need to look at that. So I hope that no one is gonna judge me for using old pillows to make gifts. I guess it makes the most sense, especially for the cat bed, because it's gonna be used by cats. You know, cats are not gonna care if it's stuffing from an old pillow. For the stuffed chicken, it's supposed to be home decor. It's not supposed to be something that anyone is gonna be holding close to their body or anything like that. And then for these are just gonna go perched in flower vases. They're not really for anyone to have, again, close to their bodies or close to their face. So I'm not gonna go to Joann's to buy brand new poly filling or whatever when I have old pillows at home. I would feel very different if I was making like proper plushies for people or kids, but that's not what I'm doing today. So, all right, so let's get on with it. And oh shoot, did I stop? Oh no, I didn't stop my timer. I had a timer for how long I was working on this. So, 3 petals took me about 2 hours, and this took me maybe 45 minutes. So that's already a lot of time. I don't know if I'm gonna make my mom a bouquet of flowers anymore, but I'm going to at least try to do the sunflower. And then I'll give her 2 flowers. That's a very sad bouquet. Maybe I'll just compliment it with real flowers. But all right, I'm gonna shut up. I have limited time. Let's get on with it. Hi, friends. It's Monday. I didn't check in the entire weekend because I didn't really do a lot of crocheting on the weekend. It was extremely, extremely busy. but I'm running out of time. I need to get these done. So I am done with my mom's tulip. Um, I don't know if I would make another one, mostly because of the stem. Yeah, it was just too much of a pain. And then the other issue that I encountered with it was the wire that I was using initially was too thin. I thought it was going to be enough, but clearly not. Because whenever I held it, it would just like fully flop because it's very top heavy. Thankfully, I had a spool of much thicker wire that I was able to just pierce through the stitches and just stick it through. The only other thing that's left on this is a little leaf. No progress on the chicken or on the chicken egg or on the cat bed. So let's shut up. Let's get these done. Wish me luck. All right, folks, please excuse the mess that is my desk right now. You get to see the nitty gritty of it after spending so long making this damn chicken. But look at it. It's so cute. Don't look at it from the front. It is so freaking ugly from the front. But from the sides? Come on. It's so freaking cute. I'm very happy with it. It definitely did not take me the 45 minutes that the pattern says it should take, but I'm very happy with it. Although, granted, I did do the eyes myself. I don't have any safety eyes because I never do amigurumi. So, yeah, the eyes I just made with yarn and a little bit of white. So, that also took a long time. But in any case, it is done. And now all we have left is the cat bed. So, 2 down, 1 to go. All right, friends, we finally made it. All of my Mother's Day gifts are finally done. And I have how much time I spent on all of them. And I feel pretty confident with how I calculated how much yarn I used for each of them. So if you have still no idea what to make for a mom in your life or for yourself, if you're a human mom or a pet mom or a plant mom, it doesn't matter. Give yourself a gift. Hopefully some of these items can give you some inspiration. So let's not waste any time. Let's go on the order of which ones took me the most time. This might not be a surprise for anyone, but the one that took me the longest was the cat bed, for sure. And here we have it. It came out really, really cute. I'm very happy with how it looks. You can see the filling in between the stitches. That might be something that you're not okay with. Personally, I'm okay with it because, like I've said before, this is exactly like a cat bed that I made for my own cats, and I had the same issue. I've found that at least my cats, if they're gonna make biscuits, they make biscuits directly on the base. They're not making biscuits on the sides. And what I did when I filled this up was I took out all of the filling out of the pillowcase shell, I'm gonna call it. So when I was ready to be done with the base, I still used the pillowcase shell. So that way, if they are able to get their claws through the stitches, and they will, what is underneath is not just pure filling, it's actually the pillowcase shell. So they're not going to be able to get any stuffing out of the center. They could from the sides, but again, my cats just don't make biscuits on the sides. I don't know if that might be different for other people's cats, but I'm perfectly happy with this. I think it's very cute. It feels very nice. It's very squishy too. I ended up using 732 yards of yarn, and that includes the velvet yarn and it includes the worsted weight yarn that I held triple to make the bottom piece. And it took me 6.5 hours in total. So definitely still doable. If you're watching this on Friday, on the day that this video comes out, then you would have Friday afternoon and Saturday in order to give this to someone on Sunday, on Mother's Day. So this is the one that took me the longest. Now, the second one that took me the longest, I don't think is a surprise. You know the two options that are left. It's the flower and the chicken. Obviously, the flower took me a lot longer than the chicken did. This took me 5.5 hours, which is pretty crazy. So for the flower, it took me about 20 grams to make the bud, and it took me about the same to make the stem. So this one does take a fair amount of time, but it doesn't take a lot of yarn each flower, but also it's only one flower. I would have preferred to make my mom a lot more flowers, but it's just not feasible. If I wanted to make her a bouquet, let's say 6 flowers, and each of them takes me like 5 hours each, this is a big project. So if you want to give someone flowers, get started. All right, and to no one's surprise, the gift that took me the least amount of time was Courtney the chicken. She's so freaking cute if you look at her from the side. From the front, she looks froggy, but from the side, she's very cute. So for Courtney, this is a pattern that's available only on Ribbler. It did not take a lot of yarn. I will mention I did make more rows to make her taller than what the pattern recommends. For the Karen 1 pound yarn, I used just a tenth of a ball. So that's 80 yards. For the two tan colors, the one that I used the most, I used 16% of a ball, so that was 60 yards, and the other one I just did 20 yards. So this doesn't take a lot of yarn at all, and it doesn't take a lot of time, so I think this is a winner. I suppose I didn't calculate how much I used for the red and the beak and the eyes, but I mean, that's like stash amounts. These are scraps amounts. So it's really not much at all. So that means that for this chicken, I used only 159 yards of yarn. Again, not including the scrappy bits that this requires. So yeah, this is a really good pattern, and it comes out really cute. And I made a little egg for it. I did sew it to the bottom, so I can't like take it out and show it to you. This is a weird way to show it, I guess, but the egg pattern that I used to make this egg can be found for free online, or I think it's $3 in Ravelry. It's called the Egg Whole and Fried Amigurumi by Lindsay Rowe. Very, very easy, very, very simple. I stuffed it with dried split beans. I don't know, they're just the dried beans that I had on hand. And then I just sewed it to the center. And it is kind of heavy. So it gives it some weight. So it's not just flopping all over the place. If you want to make any of these projects and there's anything that I didn't mention, maybe I skipped something, I'm sorry. You can definitely go to my Ravelry page. I have everything in the notes on my project pages. If you want the pattern for the cat bed, I've put it there as well. I have the amounts of yarn that I used, how much time I spent on each of them. And if you have any other questions and they're not there, then feel free to message me and I'll be happy to answer your questions. So there you have it, folks. That is all of my Mother's Day gifts. I'm very happy with how they all came out. I'm very excited to be gifting them this weekend. And if you, again, have felt inspired to make anything for anyone in your life, I hope that these patterns might be something that you're interested in making. If you're running really short on time and you don't have a lot of yarn, this is a winner, honestly. I suppose I'm happy with the way that the tulip flower came out. I mean, it's not ugly. Um, I think that it was just a lot of time spent on such a small object. And then the cat bed, I'm super happy with how the cat bed came out, but it did take me 6.5 hours. This feels pretty satisfying. This was a very satisfying little project, and I'm very happy with it. Next time, maybe I'll make the beak a little smaller. I'm really glad that my husband thought that she was really cute because I was having a little bit of a crisis for a second, being like, is she ugly or is she cute? So, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you are inspired to make any of them, please let me know down in the comments. I would love to know. And if you are watching Eurovision this week, what country are you going for? I'm obviously going for Baby Thug. There's no other answer but Baby Thug. But I would love to know what country you are rooting for. So that is all I have for you guys. Thank you so much again. I will see you next time. Bye.